Hello everyone, my name is Victor, and today we are going to talk about a very powerful chess opening called stonewall attack. So the basic idea is that white, first of all, will play some very defensive pawn moves, and then it will turn into a very aggressive attack on black's king side. So let's first of all go ahead and make some initial moves. So first of all, you want to make your queen pawn to d4 in order to protect your e5 square here. And then your next move is usually followed by your f pawn to f4 to double protect the e5 spot. And then you always want to make e3 move as well to protect both of the pawn, and then followed by a c3 pawn here, just in case that if they want to swap your pawn, you can always swap back to protect e5 pawn, e5 black square right there. And then you always want to make your bishop to go to d3 as well, so that you can have some attack on the pawn on h7. And you also want to make your knight to d2 to double protect the white squares at c and e4. Yep. And these two spots, the c4 and e4, are the weaknesses of this opening. So that you want to double protect it by using both of your knights and your bishop. And however, one of the most important move for stonewall attack is you want to make your knight to f3 first and then to e5, because you have both of the pawn here to protect your knight, and that spot is very powerful for your defense. And you always want to castle here too, and then you also want to make good use of your king pawn, for example to g4, and then you keep promoting it because you have a lot of defense on the pawn here, and then you also want to swap your bishop with their pawn at h7 in case they castled. So yep, and that's basically the general ideas of stonewall attack. And now let's take a look at one of the examples, and an example game that usually played by this kind of opening. So first of all, just like we said before, you want to promote your queen pawn to d4, and then black usually counter it by pawn to d5, and then you keep going with your pawn to f4, and in response to that, knight go up to f6 to protect the pawn at d5, and then you'll keep on going to promote your little pawn to e3 to protect both of your pawn at d4 and f4. And then black will go ahead and raise their pawn to e6, and then you keep on going because most of the moves that black played here are mostly defensive. You go ahead and raise your pawn to c3, and then by doing that, now black has some initiative now. Black wants to make the pawn to c5, so that because you don't want to capture it because your pawn will be out of place, and you also want to protect the e5 square here. So white most likely just gonna ignore that move. So now now white will play bishop to d3 here. Yep. And then black will simply develop its bishop to d6 here. And then go ahead and white will want to make its knight to d2 here. So so now it has two concentration here with both of the pawns. And then now black wants to raise its little pawn to c4 because now you have to be pressured, and you don't want to play a defensive move like make your bishop to e2, and you want to always stay on this line here because it's very important to the attack later on. So you just simply go back to c2 instead. And now black knight goes up, and you want to go up as well. And then you want to make your knight to f3 as we demonstrate earlier. And now the black side castle, you castle. And then, as we said before, an important little spot for the knights at e5. And then, because at this move, although black can swap it, if we swap it, for black, it's very passive, because there's not much for black knight to do it here. Knight has to whether go back, or he cannot come here, because if you come here, there are two pieces that protects the square e4, and then you only have one pieces that protects it. You lose one pawn there, so it's very passive. So let's go ahead and not make that move. So let's return to its original spot. And after we play this, and white can simply raise its bishop to d7, and then now we want to make good use of our king's pawn to g4. And then now black can simply play some defensive move here to e7, so that it's protecting all of the pieces that he wants. And now we keep promoting our pawns to here. And as you can see here, this move is very essential for white, because the king's pawn promotes so much that it starts being very aggressive. And then the only move for black here is to simply go back to e8, because if you move to everywhere else, you're losing the pieces. Both of the g4 and h5 are being attacked by the white queen. So now you want to go back to e8, and that's the best move there. And now, as we said before, we want to attack the king side directly by swapping your bishop with the pawn, and black can simply take it, and you want to follow with your queen d1 to h5. And here is a check. The only thing black can do here is just go back to where it was, so g8. And then if you want, you can always keep on attacking it here. As you can see here, it's already a lot of pressure on black's king side. Although you lose the pieces on the bishop, but now you regain a lot of advantage here. For example, if you want to raise your pawn to g6, now although he can take here, but now it's a fork here, and there's not much you can do to prevent this. And then there's a very powerful check here as well. So usually black wouldn't make that move here. So now let's take a look at some variations instead of white's promoting its pawn. So now let's make our rook to f3. So by doing this, you want to make your rook to h3 for a direct attack on the queen, because that's very powerful. And now now you can see at this stage already, white gain a lot of advantages in terms of attacking the king side. Although you are not making good use of your black square bishop, but however the disadvantage of that little bishop will simply be made up by the position that white can place.